Kate Retzel, the principal of LES here. We're welcoming you to the open house. You should have a chance to come in through this video and see your child's teacher, see their classroom, and meet any interventionists or specialists who might work with them. We thank you for your patience with this new style for this COVID year, and we hope you enjoy.
Hello LES families, Miss Amber here for our virtual family open house. I'm going to turn the camera around and we are going to go into the classroom. Okay families, in we come. So this year, because of the remote nature of our open house, I have a quick video just to show you around our classroom. Each child has their own desk where they keep their own supplies right in here. Some desks are neater than others, which is perfectly fine. Each child has their own cubby. We do have a couple of children who do not have their own actual physical wooden cubby, but they have a station around the classroom. And the purpose of that is so that every child has their own defined space and they do not have to share a cubby. So that's a great thing this year. We have just enough spaces. So in the morning, your children come over, they hang their backpack, any other supplies they have, winter hat, jacket, boots, right up. They then take their folders out and then check in with Miss Kathy. I'm gonna go slow here. Miss Kathy's desk is over here. She collects any notes or any correspondence, checks any homework, and then she will also record what your child is having for lunch each day, whether they have a bag lunch or they have a lunch or the sun butter jelly option. They then will wash their hands and then head over to their desk. Now each child has their desk, and after they wash their hands, they come over and there will be an activity waiting for them. It's usually a worksheet. Sometimes it's simple coloring, and sometimes we have another activity for handwriting skills. We are going to keep an ongoing sight word chart up here so we can access. This is always fun anytime that they notice these sight words in their level readers or other things that we hand out. We make a big note of it and we cheer it on. We have a birthday chart up here, and then we have my desk over here where the whole purpose of this shield, I just want to talk about that, is, you know, early literacy is very important to notice the different sounds, and a lot of our letters sound the same. So T, B, D, and then M and N. It's very important for early literacy that they are able to form those correctly and then hear them correctly. So when we discuss some different words and things, in order for me to be more clear and for the children to hear the sound correctly, I will step behind the shield and take down my mask so they can see which part of my mouth is, you know, making different parts of a word or different sounds for the letters. So that's why that's there. We have a large chart up here. This is how we do a lot of our letter forming activities. Something else that we use every single day is this Elmo, which is hooked up to a projector, and we can use it in all different sorts of activities. I can hook over there I have my laptop that can be connected to this, and we can project anything up here. As you see, I've kind of staged, this was yesterday's math activity, but you can see I can put any sort of paper underneath, any materials, and it will project, and it's live action, so it's pretty neat. I can do, we have Go Noodle, which is great. If you have a minute, go ahead and Google that, and your child should be able to show you some of the activities that we use on Go Noodle. So anyways, this is just a quick glimpse of our classroom. We do have our own bathrooms. Actually, this year we just have one. Our class uses this side, hence the blue tape right there. And that way they're not mixing with the other class on the other side. And I'm going to flip this camera around and then talk more about our materials that we use during the school day. So I've collected some of the materials that we use in the classroom on a daily basis. I'm going to start off with the leveled readers that your child is bringing home or should be bringing home on a weekly basis. I have a AA, it says right here at the top, and as you get them home you can be looking for this as well. It says leveled book and AA, so this is level AA. And this week we are sending home an A, which is the next step up. And I also have a level E book, so you can see the difference in expectations from the beginning of the kindergarten year to June and into the start of first grade. So level AA, we have 2 to 3 words per sentence, and the picture always has some sort of cue to the word, and it is a predictable text, so each page will start the same. There will be one word that will be different. This book happens to say 1 letter, 2 letter, 3 letter, and that's the progression of an AA book. Moving forward, we have level E book, and this is where they begin to make that transition of learning to read into reading to learn. So these books are not 2 to 3 words per sentence. What they are 3 to 4 plus sentences on each page. And while most of them have the sight words that we are introducing 10 each month, they also have larger words that we will teach tapping out, how to sound out a word that's unfamiliar to you. So practice those sight words, because that is a huge benefit to early literacy skills. Another material that we use, which is kind of a fun material, like these. These are our letter cards, and we use them every day. The leader helps, so they get to come up to the class front and kind of teach. We have R, and so we hold up for each letter the card, and N. So one example that we do, we go N, and then we talk about the picture, nut, and then we produce a sound. And so this is where that shield, which I showed you before, really comes into play, because N sounds very similar when you're wearing a mask and you're more than 6 feet away to M. And then T, we have a top, and the sound for T is T. And then the whole class will repeat back. So this is a leader of the day directed activity, which we do every morning. To match that, we have these little notebooks, and these are very similar to the letters that we send home on a weekly basis, introducing each new letter and how they're formed. This is them. So you scroll through. Each letter has a picture, like R with a rat, then they color A with an apple. They just color it, and we talk about how each letter is formed, where it starts, and then how to make it. As we get further through the year, this book becomes more of handwriting, and they talk about how to form each letter, not only lowercase but uppercase, and then the children have a chance to practice forming those letters. This is pretty fun as the year gets on. There's a lot of activities for this. We also use a little magnet board. Anybody with older children who have been through kindergarten, you already know about this, but I'll just go through it for families who do not have other children who have been through this. So our program Foundations is pretty material rich. The alphabet, which we do not teach in order. We teach by how they are formed based on the skyline, the plain line, the grass line, and the worm line. So we did not start at A. We actually started with the letter T, and then we moved to F and B. And basically we have all kinds of activities, which the end result would be matching a magnet letter to the appropriate spot. Now we might say, okay, we've talked about all vowels. Let's match all of the vowels, and then we'll talk about vowel sounds. Short sound for vowels and long sound, or just what are the different vowels that we have, and vice versa. We'll talk about consonants, or I might say, what is the beginning sound in the word map? And then they would have to figure out, what is that beginning sound? Okay, what could make it M? And then they would match that. So we use this all of the time. It's a great material. Each child, you saw the large writing grid that we had on the board. This one is well loved at the moment, needs a little clean, but anyways, true life here. We have skyline, plain line, grass line, and worm line. And then they can practice as we are writing on the large writing grid at the front of the board, in front of the classroom. They practice their letter formation right at their desk using a dry erase marker and their socks for erasing. I also have some math. It's a quick activity I want you to notice on each math paper. So while we have stories and hands-on activities for each math activity lesson, we also have a corresponding workbook page, and the general format is the same. They talk about what is the skill they're working on this day or this lesson, and the directions are always at the bottom. They go through anything that, the most favorite part they have noticed is some of these, they have a little check mark right there. That means it's an independent activity, so they always get excited. They say, oh geez, I get to do this all by myself. And then what I really wanted families to notice is all the way at the end, we have a home activity. And these are wonderful. They are not pencil, paper, writing, geared. They are hands-on real life activities. So this one says today, ask your child to show a set of 8 objects. Can be anything, 8 spoons or 8 pieces of soap, anything. Have him or her show one more object and tell how many. And it's using the one more vocabulary word that we have discussed in this whole unit. And this is really language rich, and it's using the words that we use in the classroom. As you may have noticed, we also send home the black and white activity homework. Now, homework is not, as I mentioned before, mandatory. It is a nice extension activity, a good way to reinforce the skill that we've been working on in the classroom. So that's why we send them home. We do not keep track. If you do it, that's wonderful. If you do not, think about it. They're good, but it's not mandatory. So those are the main materials that we use, and I am going to say goodbye because this video has already gotten pretty long. But please feel free if you have any questions, send me an email, stop by the office. I can always meet with you in the front lobby, and I hope that covers most of our day. Have a good one. Talk to everyone soon. Bye.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Vosberg. I'm a special education teacher here at Lee Elementary School, and I work with students in kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. Let me give you a tour of our classroom. Upon entering the classroom, each student gets a squirt of hand sanitizer. You may notice that our classroom has shields on the desks and on the tables. Due to needing to get closer to students at times during lessons, we keep these shields on at all times. During parts of my day, I'll reteach lessons here at the table when I'm one-on-one with a student. Sometimes during the day, I see multiple students at a time. They will be seated here at the desks while I teach from the whiteboard. Many of my students are most successful with visual models. If you take a look around our classroom, we have a disappearing red timer that helps students to know when their session is up. We have reminders of how to hold our pencils, whether we're left-handed or right-handed. And reading strategies placed around the room to help them decode their words.
Hi everyone!
I'm Mrs. Carlino.
And I'm Miss Warner. We're the PE teachers at Lee Elementary School.
Like most things in 2020, we're doing things differently this year in the gym. We have completely redesigned our curriculum since many of the fun games and activities that we have taught in the past use shared equipment or encourage students to invade each other's space.
We're still teaching all of our basic concepts and skills in kindergarten, first and second grade. We teach many fundamental gross and fine motor skills, in addition to laying a foundation of gameplay. In third grade is when we start to shift from teaching the skills to teaching games that use those skills. It's very similar to the shift from when we learn how to read to reading to learn.
Throughout our curriculum in all grades, we also teach a lot of health-based content. We learn about nutrition, the importance of exercise, how our body works, and so much more. We also have a huge emphasis on social-emotional learning so students can understand their emotions, set goals, understand empathy, establish and maintain positive relationships, and make responsible decisions.
We're taking many precautions this year. We started the year outside where our amazing custodial staff painted circles for students to be able to move around in. Our state guidance allows students to participate in physical activity outside without a mask if they're 10 feet apart. So we created circles that are 12 feet in diameter and 12 feet apart.
On rainy days, and now that it's getting colder and snow is around the corner, we will be inside the gym. Here we have 6-foot squares that are 6 to 7 feet apart. Because we're inside, students must have a mask on at all times. The circles and the outside and the squares in here give students a defined space that they can move around in without getting close to their classmates.
We are very careful in our cleaning procedures. We have sanitizing spray that we use to mop the floors in between every single class. We only allow students to use personal equipment that's easy to clean, and we have sanitizing wipes and spray after every single class.
Finally, we do require students to wear sneakers on their PE days, so please make sure that your children are wearing them.
We love seeing your children again. Thank you so much for watching, and please let us know if you have any questions.
Hi, I'm Greg Houston, the librarian here at Lee Elementary School. I'd like to give you a brief introduction to the library and then talk a little bit about things we're doing for this school year. So down on this end of the library, we have the section dedicated to the younger grades, K through 2. And then on the shelves a little bit closer, you're seeing some series fiction, which both physically connects the younger grades end of the library to the older grades end of the library, as well as kind of bridging the reading levels between those two groups. So as we come around to the other end, you will see the end of the library that's for the older students, grades 3 through 6. And then finally coming around, as we wrap around, we come to our solution for this year, which is our book cart that has a variety of books that I bring to classes every day. And I have my laptop computer with a scanner attached so that I can check out books for the students. And then when the students are returning books, they are placing them in this cart, dropping them in the slot so that nobody else is touching them, and they go into one of these day of the week plastic bins where they stay for 1 week. Best library practice now is to stay for at least 3 days. I do it for 1 week just to make it easier on me. That allows them to be safely recirculated. So these books here are some of the books that have been circulating for the younger grades and for the older grades. In the classes in kindergarten, we have talked about doing taking care of books. The students have colored bookmarks so that they can mark a page without folding down a corner. In first grade, we talked about parts of a book. For second grade, we've just been doing some activities like word searches as I'm signing out books. In the older grades, we've been concentrating on learning how to sign into the library software so that students are able to select particular books, so they'll be able to put a hold on the book. So instead of just bringing a selection of books for them to choose from, I will be able to bring specific books that they've asked for. So that's our solution for this year. So welcome back.
Hi, this is Miss Pat coming to you from the music room at LES, and this year is looking a little bit different for all of us. And unfortunately, this year we can't have music in the music room because it's not large enough to accommodate for the physical distancing that we need this year. So every day that it's nice, we're trying to go outside so that we get at least a little bit of a chance to sing, because currently the national guidance is that singing is only allowed outside and socially distanced with masks on. So as much as possible, we are going outside when it's not raining. When it is raining or sadly snowing, which will soon be upon us, I've been pushing into the classrooms using my cart, where I have my computer and I have sound equipment so that we can listen to music and have music to move around with and dance with. And this is my music on the move cart, so I'm pushing into classrooms and we're doing the best we can. And I hope we have a great year. And I look forward to meeting all of you, hopefully in person, sooner than later. And know that I enjoy working with all of your students. Thank you.
Hello, families. My name is Mr. Boulay. I am the art teacher here at Lee Elementary School. Your student will see me like this, wearing face protection and wheeling my art on a cart into their individual classrooms for art class. So this year definitely runs a bit different from prior years because of the whole COVID experience, but your student will still receive an excellent art education every time they see me in class. I bring all my supplies in the cart for them to use. Know that I will keep them safe. Any and all art supplies are returned to a used supply section for me to wipe down and spray and make sure that I keep all supplies clean and everyone's safe here at school. I look forward to future years once COVID goes away and we can have students back in the art room. But for now, Art on a Cart is working here at LES, and I'm excited to have a good, successful school year with your students. So thank you very much, and we'll see you around.
Hi, I'm Heather Lucy. I'm the School Adjustment Counselor at Lee Elementary School. I work with students in grades pre-K through 6. I help students, families, and teachers all work together to make plans for success for students. I help students with their social emotional development and well-being, conflict resolution, and brain-based strategies.
Hi, I'm Rachel Wildrick. I'm a school psychologist, and this is my office. I work here at Lee Elementary School and at the middle school and high school. I work with all students, all grades, just to help them when they're needing to know their strengths and weaknesses, both cognitively and academically.
Hi, my name is Heather Gray, and we are the speech pathologists at Lee Elementary School. Some of the things that we do here are we work on articulations of sounds, social skills. We answer and practice answering different WH questions like who, what, where, why, and when. We work on vocabulary and grammar. We also work on different concepts and inferences and predictions.
These are all great skills to learn, navigate through the school day, and make friends.
And you see our plexiglass, we have these to be able to separate our kids, and especially when you're working on social skills and how you produce a sound, this mask is super helpful so kids can see my face.
Hi, I'm Tim Merton. I'm Dean of Students at Lee Elementary School.
My name is Andy Clark. I'm the English as a Second Language teacher here at Lee Elementary School. Your children and I explore language through the reading of books, websites, articles. We also write together to show our ideas, and we connect our readings and our writings to real-life projects where we build things like the Eiffel Tower and the Trojan horse. Thanks for visiting my classroom today.